स्नेहाय दानाय च रक्षणाय
John chapter 20 verse 22. When he had said this, he breathed on them and said to them, Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven. If you retain the sins of any, they are retained. These are the holy words of Jesus, by which he instituted the sacrament of reconciliation, confession. Today, we are faced with so many challenges, oppositions, and attacks on this sacrament of reconciliation. There are even cases filed in the courts to stop this sacrament, to destroy it. And I like to share here two of my experiences in confession, which is not only my own experience, but the experience of crores and crores of Catholics living all over the world. And so once a person has experienced the loving touch of Christ, the mercy of God, no power on earth, nobody can destroy it, attack it, or stop it. So the first experience I had is in the year 2017, not the first one, even though there are many occasions when I had confession. This time I felt the touch of God more, very deep, and so I like to share it. It was the eve of Palm Sunday, the beginning of Lent. The day was Saturday and the day was April 8th. I remember it because I cannot forget that moment, forget the experience. I cherish it even now, and so it will be in protest of this kind of attacks and as a testimony of my own experience. Before that day, that is from Friday 4 o'clock evening, we started our work. It was a very tedious and hard work, and all of us were engaged in it. And we continued the work till 10 in the night, and then we retired. And the next day, early in the morning, soon after Holy Mass, by about 7 o'clock, we started on the work again. And by 8 o'clock, we had breakfast. And after the breakfast, everyone ran to the work again because it was to be completed by the evening only. But I was led by the Holy Spirit, I believe. I was helped in preparing for a confession. We were not supposed to have confession that day, but in the next week. At the end of the 1 hour, I was prompted in my spirit to call my spiritual father, and I lifted the phone and dialed, and I asked him, "Where are you, Father?" He said, "I am in this village itself, just in a house opposite to your house." I could not believe it, and I did not expect him there. He asked, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I want to have a confession." He said, "When do you want?" I said, "I'm ready now." He came in 5 minutes, and I had a confession of my whole life. And the moment the priest uttered the formula of absolution, I cannot explain the feelings of my heart, the situation of my heart. I felt deeply the mercy of God flowing into my heart, the divine touch, and tears ran down my cheeks. And the second one is this year, also in the Holy Week, the Tuesday. I was in a retreat and we had confession that day. For 3 months, beginning from the 1st January of 2019, I was being tortured by something in my spirit. I do not know what exactly it is. It is not a sin, but a kind of confusion, a kind of darkness, a kind of cloud in my heart. And I was troubled by that. And that day I decided to have confessed this thing to the priest. And I knelt down before the priest and confessed. I cannot. The priest gave me the necessary instructions and advices, all these things, and after that, how I felt, I cannot explain. The peace and tranquility that flowed into my heart and the divine touch I experienced, I can never forget in my life. I said this not to tell how I feel about confession, but this is the experience of the all the Catholics who have really felt really approached for confession, and that is why no force on earth can stop or destroy the sacrament of confession. Those who do not have the experience may feel that this is a folly or a nonsense, but it is not so. In reality, it is the most important and consoling sacrament that Christ has instituted for His Church.